what I was gonna ask is, you mentioned what brought you to Richmond. You said you had your girlfriend, her father was from here, right? That's
Yes.
what you mentioned, yeah. You know, and what I want to ask is what do you think of the city of Richmond? Because you know about the history and how it's definitely changing in a positive way,
yes,
for the most part. But what do you see, especially you that you're there with students? You know.
Yeah, I am so grateful that I ended up at Kennedy and that I'm working in Richmond and part of the community. It's like, I don't know, I think it brings my girlfriend's family a lot of pride that I work there. It's like, her dad went to Kennedy's prom in like the 70s, and like it's just cool, I think, for me, because I grew up in San Diego in middle school and high school, but my dad was in the Navy, so we moved around a lot. And then the band, I was always everywhere, and so these years here it's the first time I've sort of felt like I've a sense of place. I think at UC Berkeley, I finally felt like a Californian, which was a new kind of experience for me.
Okay.
And then now I feel like being a teacher at Kennedy is like a part of is becoming a part of my identity in a really cool way. And I don't know, I really like teaching there because the students are fun to work with and just awesome people. I got into teaching because I was an English literature major, and I was interested in literacy and like equity and education, and I work with a lot of English learners, which at Kennedy we have a huge population of, and it's just really fun work. Like nerding out and working on how to do language in the world. I don't know. So I still feel like an outsider in some ways, and I'm new to Richmond, but it's like I think because I think the sort of strange life that I've led is kind of like something about Richmond is familiar or like connects to me in some way. I really don't know how to. I've been thinking about it a lot and how to articulate it. I think maybe in 2 years I'd have a more definite answer to give you.
It's a special place for sure.
Yeah, it's just there's something about it that's
it feels like home.
It does. It feels it feels like it feels real to me.
There you go.
It's funny you say that because like we do shows in Richmond, and we brought musicians and comedians from other places to Richmond, and some comic recently described it as one of the last cities of working class people in the Bay Area, and that's what they feel a difference show there as compared to other places. I'm describing that in the sense of art and performances, but it's also like you said. I'm sure for you there's a sense of giving back, doing what you're doing, and specifically in Kennedy.
No, definitely. That's a great point. Yeah, I think there's an authenticity to that sort of working class ethic in Richmond, and I think that I've been respected and welcomed when I'm honest and real with people in Richmond, and like being welcomed in that way is really meaningful to me. It's like very different than a place like LA, where you, as someone who had a lot of like anxiety around who I can trust, it's like in Richmond, the way that I speak to people, I feel like I feel a sense of trust, and
that's awesome.
Yeah,
and it's also awesome in a way. Like you're like a unicorn because it's like you Warped Tour and you're working at Kennedy, which I know a lot of alumni from Kennedy are like, I fucking never go back there.
Yeah,
well, except for this alumni.
Well, yeah. No, but you know what I'm saying. Like, there's
weirdo.
I can't shake the place.
No, yeah. Just especially the reputation that it has.
Yeah.
Same with Richmond High, where I went.
Right.
Yeah. And like I teach freshmen too, and our freshmen come into Kennedy with a lot of their own preconceived notions of what Kennedy is.
Right.
And you get there, and it's not that. I mean, crazy shit happens at Kennedy all the time, but it's not like this place that it's notorious for being. If you go to the library and you meet Mr. Bader, or you like spend any time in like any of the classrooms, or I don't know, or just get to know the older students. I mean, our seniors, like the leadership crew of seniors, which I only know by extension, or just by being my TA. I've never taught seniors, but they're such great advocates for the younger students and for the community. It's just awesome, and I think I love that about Kennedy too. I also loved being a part of the teacher strike, and like having our students come out to the school board meeting and just like voice their concerns was just like, it's like moments like that where I'm like, I love being here. This like this place is awesome. Like, awesome. And I do feel there's something that's like, it's like very not bougie. It's just like it's
we're doing the work and actually being involved with. I don't remember, in my age, students were as involved with what the adults are talking about in the meetings with the teachers. These kids are way more involved, and that's awesome to be behind that cause. That's we've had some people from those organizations that they're deeply involved with trying to fix not just Richmond, but going forward for the students.
Exactly.
Do you think that's a totally good thing, or do you see some like scary parts in that for kids being too involved in what?
Before you answer that, give Marco's first non-music question. Come on.
Let him live. Let him
geek out, man. This interview is for me only. It's not even gonna get published.
I definitely have we'll circle back to my question later. Yeah, go on.
I don't know. I have to think about that. I think I really like the idea of students having not just going on a field trip to the school board meeting, but actually being an active participant in the conversations. And I mean, to be honest, it's there's so much work to be done. I feel like we're gonna have a new principal next year, and the I won't say anything.
We'll edit this part out.
But the district comes and says like we want the community's thoughts on this, but a lot of it's lip service. There aren't always authentic avenues for for young people and students to be involved. But I don't know. I think there probably are limitations, but I think at this moment it was just cool to see.
Yeah,
I was standing next
far
to
it's a positive
a student, and we were both like, "Yeah, strike!"
Yeah,
it was just great.
Can you believe the Voice Party has had merch this whole time and we neglected to tell anybody? T-shirts, hoodies, bath mats, wall clocks, throw pillows, even mini skirts. We will throw our logo on absolutely anything. Click the link in the description below and pick you up some Voice Party merch today.